welcome to day 9 of my 12 Days with Infertility series. Today I want to talk about the blessing of having a diagnosis for infertility or not having a diagnosis. So I talked about the body acceptance with premature ovarian failure in a recent video, and it took me a while to accept the diagnosis that I have just because it seems so final. Like, there really aren't a lot of options as far as conceiving. You have to go directly to IVF and directly to donor eggs. I've talked in other videos about like clinical trials and research that they're doing, to provide some different options. But, because there's really just not a lot, that's what makes the diagnosis really heavy to deal with. But on the flip side, trying to spin my perspective on it, it is nice to have a diagnosis because at least I have a game plan with how to move forward. And the way that the process kind of works with healthcare is that some OBGYNs will tell you to try for a year or even longer before going to a reproductive endocrinologist or like a fertility doctor. I don't really agree with that, coming from my position. Let's say that they hadn't diagnosed the premature ovarian failure and then the doctor didn't do anything and just told me, hey, start trying for a year and then go and then move forward. It's like, that's like a year wasted. And it could be, it could work within a year, but I don't know. A year seems pretty long when it could be a simple fix. So I was just thinking about that, like how, what doctors tell you to do and whatever. So it's nice to have the diagnosis because then, we can get right to the plan and not spend time figuring out what the plan might be. Now, working that plan has taken a while because donor eggs in this situation don't just appear. You have to find the donor, go through that whole process, and then wait through COVID, and then figure out all the stuff for the transfer. That all takes time anyways. So I'm just grateful that I didn't have to spend time figuring out what the diagnosis was. Now, on the flip side, if you do have like an unexplained diagnosis or some other diagnosis that, the path necessarily isn't clear, I think that's a blessing too, because there's more hope in that diagnosis, as far as, it's one of those situations where, you could try and then it could just happen one day and you don't really know why. And it's frustrating to not know, and it's frustrating not to be able to plan, but it's kind of exciting to think that it could just happen. Now that's a major perspective hurdle to get over, knowing that, yeah, it could just randomly happen, one time when you're not expecting it to happen or whatever. But it's kind of exciting too, and it's just a blessing. So there's a lot of ways to look at all this, and it's, it's upsetting no matter what the diagnosis can be. But I think if we try to think about things from a different perspective, then it can be super helpful. So just wanted to chat on that for a while and get out what I was thinking about it. Let me know what you think. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. Have a good one.